Have you ever had an evening when you didn't want to go anywhere, meet anyone, or do anything special? You just wanted to go home, close the door, make a warm drink, and enjoy a little peace. I used to think that quiet evenings were boring. Always wanted to do something exciting after a long day. I wanted to go out, meet friends, watch movies, or spend hours on my phone. But over time, I discovered something very different. Sometimes, the quietest evenings can be the most beautiful ones. Today, I'd like to invite you into one of my quiet evenings at home and share how I learned to enjoy simple moments while practicing my English at the same time. It was a normal weekday evening. I arrived home just before sunset. I was tired after a busy day, so the first thing I did was put my bag on the chair and take a deep breath. I didn't turn on my computer. I didn't check my work messages. I simply changed into comfortable clothes and opened the window. The sky outside was slowly changing color. The bright afternoon light was disappearing, and the soft evening light was beginning to fill the room. I could hear people coming home from work, cars moving along the street, and a few birds singing somewhere nearby. For a moment, I just stood there and listened. It felt good to finally be home. I walked into the kitchen and made myself a cup of tea. While the water was boiling, I decided to practice some English. I opened my phone and played a short English podcast. The speaker was talking about daily habits and simple ways to stay positive. I listened while preparing my tea. I didn't try to understand every single word. Instead, I focused on the main idea and listened to the way the speaker connected the sentences. This has become one of my favorite ways to practice English. I don't always sit at a desk with a notebook. Sometimes I learn while doing normal things. I learn while cooking. I learn while walking. I learn while drinking tea. And sometimes I learn while simply relaxing at home. After finishing my tea, I sat on the sofa and opened an English book. The book was not difficult. In fact, it was quite simple. But that was exactly what I wanted. I didn't want to spend the evening struggling with complicated vocabulary. I wanted to enjoy the story. I read slowly and underlined a few sentences that I liked. One sentence said that we should not wait for a perfect life before enjoying the life we already have. I stopped reading for a moment. That sentence made me think. How often do we tell ourselves that we will be happy later? We say that we will relax when our work is finished. We will travel when we have enough money. We will learn English when we have more time. We will enjoy life when everything becomes easier. But life doesn't always become easier. There will always be another problem, another responsibility, and another busy day. Maybe happiness is not about waiting for the perfect moment. Maybe happiness is about noticing the good moments that are already here. I looked around my small living room. There was nothing special. Just a comfortable sofa, a small table, a warm cup of tea, and a few books. But suddenly, everything looked beautiful. I realized that I didn't need a perfect evening. I only needed to appreciate the evening I already had. After reading for a while, I decided to cook dinner. I opened the refrigerator and looked at what I had. There were some vegetables, eggs, and a little chicken. I smiled and thought, I can make something simple. As I cooked, I practiced English again. I described what I was doing in my head. I'm washing the vegetables. Now I'm cutting the carrots. The water is boiling. The food smells good. These sentences were very simple, but they were useful. When you learn a language, you don't always need complicated sentences. Simple sentences are powerful because you can use them every day. The more you use them, the more natural they become. After dinner, I cleaned the kitchen and turned off the lights. The room became quiet again. I sat near the window and looked outside. The street was darker now. Some windows in the buildings were still bright. I imagined all the people behind those windows. Maybe someone was cooking dinner. Maybe someone was talking with their family. Maybe someone was studying for an exam. Maybe someone was also sitting quietly and thinking about their day. Everyone was living a different story. And everyone probably had their own problems. That thought reminded me to be grateful for my own quiet evening. Before going to bed, I took out my notebook. I wrote 3 simple sentences in English. Today was a good day. I learned something new. Tomorrow, I will take another small step. I looked at those sentences and smiled. My English was not perfect. My day was not perfect. My life was not perfect. But I was learning. I was improving. And I was becoming better at appreciating the small things. That was enough. Before turning off the light, I thought about how different my evenings were a few years ago. I used to spend hours scrolling through my phone. I would watch one video after another without really enjoying any of them. Sometimes I stayed awake too late and woke up tired the next morning. Now, I try to make my evenings slower. I put my phone away. I listen to English. I read a few pages. I prepare for tomorrow. And most importantly, I give myself time to breathe. This simple routine has changed the way I feel about my days. I don't need every evening to be exciting. I don't need to be productive every minute. Sometimes resting is productive too. Sometimes doing less gives our minds the space they need. And sometimes a quiet evening at home is exactly what we need after a busy day. If your day has been difficult, don't feel bad about slowing down tonight. Make yourself a warm drink. Take a shower. Listen to something you enjoy. Read a few pages of an English book. Write down one thing you are grateful for. You don't have to change your whole life in one day. Just make one small moment better. Then do it again tomorrow. Little by little, those moments become habits. And those habits can change the way we live. Learning English can be part of that journey too. You don't need to study for hours. You don't need to know thousands of words. You only need to keep showing up. Listen for 10 minutes. Read for 10 minutes. Speak a few sentences. Write a few words. Small efforts may seem unimportant today, but they become meaningful when you repeat them. So tonight, before you go to sleep, take a moment to appreciate where you are. Maybe your day wasn't perfect. Maybe you made mistakes. Maybe something didn't go the way you wanted. That's okay. Tomorrow is another day. You can try again. You can learn something new. You can take another small step. And you can create another quiet moment for yourself. Thank you for spending this peaceful evening with me. I hope this story helped you practice your English and reminded you that you don't need a busy life to have a meaningful life. Sometimes, a cup of tea, a good book, a quiet room, and a few minutes of English are enough. Keep listening. Keep learning. Keep taking small steps. And remember, you don't have to make every day extraordinary. Sometimes, an ordinary evening can become a beautiful memory. I'll see you in the next English learning podcast. Have a peaceful evening and take good care of yourself.